Shalom and Shalom, Yasharah, it's your boy Yehuda, back with another edition of Real Talk Yehuda. So what I want to talk about real quick is like adultery and like the Hebrew understanding of adultery and stuff like that, and like jealous women or wayward, out of order women, right? So a brother whom I dearly love, this is my ace right here, man. So anyways, he did a little post on like Facebook or whatnot. And it was something about like, I guess a man, his wife came in and I guess caught him in bed with another woman, and the jealous wife like stabbed the man and the girl or something like that, right? And the brother was like, yeah, they got what they deserved according to the scripture or whatever. And I'm like, how is this according to the scripture? What it sound like to me based on the information, you know what I'm saying, is this is a wayward, jealous wife. Now we know what the scripture, now it was like basically he was saying, you know, they got what they deserved according to the scripture, whatever. And I'm like, you know, not so, because based on the scripture, from what I'm seeing in the information, it sounds like the dude basically got a jealous, wayward, wicked wife. Now we know what the scriptures say about a woman or a wife who's jealous over another woman. All right, she counted as a dog. Like this not no good thing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So based on the information, you know what I'm saying, it don't sound like the man then committed no sin. It don't sound like the man that did no sin. You know what I'm saying? Now if the man was laying with another man's wife, okay, then yeah, they got what they deserve. But if this was a single woman and this married man was laying with her, guess what that is according to the scripture? That's the man got a concubine. He got a wife and a concubine. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like I talked about before, like or post something about the lack of basic comprehension and reading comprehension from people. Like, and I'm like, dude, we can't you know, engage in semantics and hyperbole. You can't say, well, what if this or what? That ain't what the story said. You know what I'm saying? The story said this: the man had a side chick, or whatever you want to call it in today's terms. The scripture calls that a concubine. So the man was with his concubine, and the man's wife come in, and now she get all jealous and stab him up. That means the wife was a wicked woman. That means there wasn't no order in the man's household. So maybe that's his fault. Maybe he ain't have order in his household. You see what I'm saying? That's the only thing that I can look at with that and say, okay, maybe the man, you know, he had a wicked wife or something like that. And, you know, maybe perhaps, you know, a wicked woman is appointed to a wicked man, as the scriptures to talk about. So, you know, maybe that's the case. But as far as the information given, there wasn't no adultery. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, man, like you have brothers and stuff over here that it's like, they like, y'all brothers, man, I love y'all, but y'all just like don't want to let go of the American mentality. Like you just don't want to let go of this American thought process. And it's like stuff that the Hebrews over here is doing that really creates us and makes us like the laughing stock of any intellectual circle or any intellectual arena, because it's like we get in the scriptures and then all of a sudden we go like intellectually retarded, man. This is crazy. So anyways, you know what I'm saying? I give an example. Let's say it's me, for example, right? So my house is in order. I ain't worried about nothing like that. My wife already know what time it is and stuff like that. You know, as far as us keeping the scriptures and the commandments and how we live our lifestyle, and you know what I'm saying, and really studying how the Hebrew culture is. It ain't just picking up a King James Bible, you know what I'm saying, and now we reading in English, you know what I'm saying, what the scriptures is talking about. No. We need to be understanding what is the Hebrewism, what is the Hebrew thought process, and we need to have our minds transformed, you know what I'm saying, and we got to be renewed. And I'm going to give a basic understanding, you know what I'm saying, and this ain't even just my words. If y'all want to think, oh, this is my words, then you need to go do the scholarly research, and you need to understand. Our minds literally, here in America, have to be flipped, have to be crossed over, have to become Hebrew, because this American mentality is in direct opposition to the scripture. Example, English is read left to right. Now, when any language goes from left to right, it creates thought patterns and thought processes in your brain. So that means that you have a Western mentality already from the language, from left to right. Okay? That's the Western, Roman, Edomite mentality and thought process and perception. Well, what does the scripture talk about? What is the Most High saying? How is the scripture? Hebrew is from right to left. So that means if you are understanding the Hebrew, or you know, if you grew up your whole life, right, learning Hebrew, knowing Hebrew and all of that, then that means you have an opposing view, an opposing thought process, an opposing mentality, because your whole mentality and understanding is from right to left. That's Hebrew. That's an Eastern Hebraic mentality. Those are opposing. English, left to right. Hebrew, right to left. They oppose one another. So when we study in the scriptures, right, we can't help that we was born here in captivity. Okay, cool. So we was born here in America. Guess what? That's why the scripture is letting you know you need to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So we supposed to shake off the shackles. We supposed to shake off the understanding of what an American mentality, or what the West has taught us. We're supposed to shake that off, and we're supposed to take on the mind of Christ. We're supposed to take on the mind of the Messiah. So what is the mind of the Messiah? A Hebraic, Eastern, Shemitic mentality and culture. So back to this subject right here is like, no Hebraic minded person would sit there and think, oh, they got what they deserved or something like that. How? In what way? In what way is this scriptural? In what way is this scriptural? The man had a wife and a concubine. So now the wife comes in and gets out of order? That's what that is. So like I was saying, back to the example with me, right? My household is in order. So guess what? If my wife happened to come in and I happen to be in the house or in the bed or something like that with another woman, my wife would excuse herself silently, wait until after, and then after she'd be like, oh babe, who's such and such? And I'd be like, oh, this is blah, blah, blah. And I would introduce them. Oh yeah, this is such and such. This is either wife that I'm bringing into the family, or this is, you know, such and such, my concubine. That's what this is. And it wouldn't be no issues. But see, when brothers is sitting here still with this Western American mentality, it's like, it's laughable, man. Like, it's like, this is the kind of stuff that makes us look like intellectual retards, because we can't even get the basic understanding from the scripture. What is adultery? Adultery is not a man having 2 or 3 women. Adultery is not a man having a wife and then 2 or 3 concubines. Y'all call them side chicks now. That ain't adultery. That's not adultery. Adultery is if the man is laying with another man's woman. That's adultery. So since we like to engage in hyperbole, you know what I'm saying? Since we like to engage in semantics, okay, we can play the what if. If the man was laying with another man's woman, sure, they got what they deserved, according to scripture. Now, if you just got an American mentality and the woman thinks she equal to the man, which women are not equal to men, but if that's the mentality y'all got, y'all think the woman is equal to the man and all of that stuff, okay, then I guess from an American mentality, sure, they got what they deserve. He was with this woman and he belongs to that woman. That's her man. So, of course, she got jealous and stabbed him, because how dare he cheat on her? See what I'm saying? That's not Hebraic. That's not a scriptural mentality. That's pure foolishness. Anyways, it's been real. It's your boy, Real Talk Yehuda. I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace.